All right, welcome everyone to another edition of the Conscious Woman Book Club. As you know, today we are discussing the Almanack of Naval Ravikant. So Naval Ravikant, for those of you who are not familiar, actually I wasn't too familiar with him until not too long ago. But he is, of course, a seasoned investor from the Bay Area and a bit of a celebrity apparently on Twitter. And I didn't know because I'm not active on Twitter. And so many of his posts have practically gone viral on Twitter because he has this really uncanny ability to distill a lot of wisdom in a few words. And a lot of the things he shares, they actually make sense. They leave you thinking. They get you to ponder. So it's and this book was just such a joy to read because again, packed full of wisdom and a lot of and very practical as well, because as the book itself says, right, it's a guide to wealth and happiness. So he had a lot of practical tips in there as well in terms of if you're looking to build wealth in addition to building happiness, how can one do that? So let's dig in and talk about a few ideas he shares in the book. So I'll take you through maybe top 3 ideas. It was tough to pick. He has so many good ideas in the book, but I thought let me begin with a few. Then, of course, as always, we'll have you meet in a smaller breakout so you can discuss with each other some of the ideas from this book. And then we come back and Shreya will announce the book for next month. And as always, we will have 5 of you since it's a smaller group today. So the probability or the odds of you winning the next book have gone up significantly. So that's a good thing. And the winners, of course, will announce via email. All right, so let's begin. The 3 big ones in life are wealth, health, and happiness. We pursue them in that order, but their importance is reverse. So classic example of how he's able to just distill so much wisdom in a couple of sentences. And I think this is so true, but it makes you wonder, right? I think all of us are prioritizing or going after or trying to optimize for wealth, health, and happiness. But actually the importance is reversed, right? Happiness is important. Health, of course, remains in the same place in this order, and then wealth. So let's talk about wealth and happiness and what are some top ideas that he has. Here's the first one, which I thought I think could be applicable to any of us, especially as we're thinking about the future of work. And I think the little bit that I know of all of you, we're all working in the corporate space for the most part. So what does it mean for any of us to build wealth? And the first idea he has there is build rare skills. So if we're working on something if we're working on very routine tasks, that the kind of work that can be and may in all likelihood be taken over by AI or automation in the near future, that's not what's setting us up for success or for that's not helping us build our competitive advantage. You want to focus on really cultivating a rare skill, and that can also happen by you just making sure you are really, really good at what you do. So even if the skill itself is not rare, but your level of excellence is rare, that's another way. So build rare skills, demonstrate good judgment. And he has this really excellent point about how if you look at most organizations, who are the people who earn the most? It's the leaders, it's the C-suite, it's the leadership, the management. And the skill that becomes critical there is to demonstrate good judgment, to be able to make good decisions. so can you, so that's another thing one would want to optimize for, if that's the path you're taking and you want to be able to use that to earn more and build wealth. And this is the one that I personally really like, which is that really the key is, and if there's just two skills you want to focus on, it is get really good at building something, whatever that is, whether products, services, or ideas, and get really good at selling those things that you build. Because the ability to build, of course, and really build something that really solves a unique and a critical problem, or really offers value to others. And then the ability to market that and sell that, even if it's just an idea, that's just unparalleled, and really sets you up for success. So this whole thing around skills, I thought was completely on point. Also, a few other important points he makes is that you want to focus on earning with your mind. So again, related to what he's saying about skills. So it's not just about your time. So it's not just about working really hard and putting in a lot of hours at work. Of course, a lot of us are doing that, but we want to be smart with our time. We want to optimize our time and get more leverage from our time, and not just spend a lot of time working hard without a very clear end goal in mind. And related to that, you don't get rich by spending your time to save money. You get rich by saving your time to make money. And this just reminds me of like how, like, growing up, of course, like my parents had that very, it's sort of like, I guess, lack of a better term, but sort of that middle class mindset of we have to save. So if it meant, going further to buy groceries from a store where, the vegetables would be just a little bit less expensive, then that's what they would do. But what Naval Ravikant is saying, that's not the right approach, because what you want to optimize for is you want to think, okay, what's the cost of my time if I'm spending an extra half hour or an hour just to save, let's say, whatever few rupees. Is that the best approach? Why not outsource? Either outsource, look at your tasks and outsource whatever you don't need to be involved with, or really just focus on optimizing your time more. And if it means spending more on certain things, that's okay, because we're focusing on time. That's the approach. So I think this is something really really key and important as well. So the first question related to that, I think, would love for each of you to share with each other is, what are the skills you are optimizing for? If building wealth, you want to provide for your families, you want to have a high quality of life, what are the skills that you are optimizing for? What are you prioritizing? Idea number 2, and this also I think is really on point, is your reputation. Your reputation is your biggest asset. Related to compounding your investments, just like interest, the other thing that really compounds over time and allows you to build wealth is actually your reputation. Because reputation, one can only build over time. It takes time to establish your credibility, to establish your trust, whether it's within the organization or outside. It takes time and effort to do that. But if you are able to do that and play that long game, that is then what helps open up opportunities for you, and in a big way, because your reputation is really the number one thing that people look at whether it's when people are looking at who to do business with, whom to hire, who people want to work with, it really boils down to reputation. And the final idea I want to share with you related to happiness. So we talked about two ideas related to wealth. And this is related to wealth and happiness, is that really for both wealth and happiness, the key is you want to lean into short-term pain, because anything that has any hope or holds the promise for giving us that sense of happiness and also for building wealth in the long term, almost always involves some pain in the short term. So if you want to build wealth over the long term, you do bear some amount of pain in the short term by saving your money and not overspending, let's say. Similarly, with take any long-term goal, you work out, which may be painful in the short term, but that ensures you have good health in the long run. Take any long-term goal. In the short term, it does involve some amount of pain and discomfort, but only these long-term goals that involve this kind of effort are the ones that in the end lead to both wealth and happiness. So the question really for all of you here is to discuss with each other, what are the long-term goals that you are leaning into for short-term pain? What are the long-term goals that you are leaning into? And I love this quote. So happiness, love, and passion, they aren't things you find, they are choices you make. And there's so much of language is about, searching for happiness, falling in love, finding your passion. And what he's saying is, no, it's not about searching or finding anything. You choose to be happy, you choose to love someone, you choose to engage in something long enough so that it becomes your passion. And this one's also great. Doctors won't make you healthy, nutritionists won't make you slim, teachers won't make you smart, gurus won't make you calm, mentors won't make you rich, trainers won't make you fit. Ultimately, you have to take responsibility, right? You have to save yourself. You have to make this choice to create this wealth and happiness for yourself. So, all right, now let's move into our discussion. So as I just shared, these are the two questions, one related to wealth, one related to happiness. So again, for the wealth, what are your beliefs around money and wealth? And what are the skills that you are optimizing for to build wealth? And for happiness, what are the long-term goals that you're leaning into with short-term pain? And of course, feel free to discuss any idea from the book that stood out for you, because there's so many great ideas. So feel free to share any idea that stood out for you. So, all right, Shreya, if you're ready with the breakouts, I think we can open it up.
Sure. So this is 35 minutes or 30 minutes, is it?
I think let's make it, let's make it 30 minutes. Yeah.
Okay, perfect. So 1 second. And yeah,